welcome back to another movie review. So today we're doing 1982's Pink Floyd's The Wall. Now, this was not my first time seeing this. However, it is the first time I ever made sense of it and was able to follow the damn plot. The first time I tried to watch this, I was 17. I got very easily spooked very early into it. I think I only made it to, the school scene. And got as far as the meat grinder, got freaked out, turned it off, and did not turn back. Second time I tried to watch it, I was about 19, was high as a kite because I was told that movie is better on drugs, and literally my takeaway that time was Walking Hammers. And that was about all I remembered of watching it that time. I tried again several years later when I was about 25, stone cold sober this time, and just the whole time I was like, this is really disturbing dark imagery, but I am not tracking this plot at all. What the hell did I just watch? I feel disturbed, but the fuck did I just watch? And so I finally rewatched it last night. Interesting that every time I've watched it, I've been in a different frame of mind. Last night I was very, very, very sleep deprived from the night before. And I was like, I don't know, I think I wanted to freak myself out and feel something. I don't know. So I decided, let's watch Pink Floyd's The Wall again. Because that's totally a good idea, right? I don't know. But instead of getting freaked out by it, I didn't. It's the first and only time it's ever made sense to me. I'm like, oh. Well, shit, if I had known that was the key to making it make sense, I would have done that a long time ago. The other thing that put it back on my radar is the whole drama right now with Roger Waters getting in trouble in Berlin with doing it live, and, yeah, if you're unaware of that situation, go educate yourself. It was very, very, very recent, and I think people really overreacted, but then again, he did that in Berlin, so I see both sides, but, you're missing the point of what he's trying to do here. He's not glorifying that. You're missing the point. And even before rewatching it this time, I knew that much of, that's not what he's attempting to do here, by the way. But okay, go off. But anyway, so put it back on my radar, and I've been meaning to give it a rewatch ever since that went down. And I just finally did last night. Honestly, wow. Now that I've actually made sense of the damn thing, which has been a goal literally since my teens, because usually you can throw a weird-ass movie at me and I'll be able to derive meaning out of it, but that one, for some reason, right over my head for years, but finally made sense of it. There's a lot of meanings in there that, if you look away for 2 seconds, you're gonna miss stuff that really matters. And for somebody with ADD, that makes it really hard to follow, but, I'm just saying, there's a lot of things where some of it's literal, some of it you have to read into to get the meaning. But you can do it, you can do it. So basically, the main character is born, his dad fought in World War II, was killed in World War II, and he grows up without a dad, and that fucks with him for having not had his dad, never knew him, he only knows the image of him, has seen the relics of him, but never knew the guy himself. All his friends around him have their dads, he does not. What he has is a very overprotective mom who literally just wants to, wrap him up in cotton wool and, protect him from the world and not let anything bad happen to him ever. There's a scene where he gets very sick as a child, and if you know the song Comfortably Numb, that's where when I was a child, I had a fever, that's what that part is. I think, I could be wrong on this, but the scene where he's playing with the rat, I think he might have caught the plague. I could be wrong, I think that may be what he had, but, he lived, but was very mentally ill after that. I don't know if one led to the other, or if they would have just happened anyway. But anyway, so because of that, the mom was just extra, very overprotective of this boy, did not want to let him live life even, just even his girlfriends had to be screened through her. Yeah, it's like that up into adulthood. Until she dies. But, backpedaling, we also have the famous school scene. Another brick in the wall. And basically, like, his headmaster is just really on him because instead of, like, focusing on math, he's sitting here writing poetry because he's a sensitive boy. He wants to feel things. He wants to be creative. Yeah, no, they're gonna beat that shit out of him. Figuratively and literally. They make an example of him. And it sticks with him for life. And this is where we get that iconic scene of, like, the kids marching in lockstep together, and, like, instead of, like, their faces, they've been replaced with slabs of meat, and they eventually end up walking into a meat grinder. The meaning I took away from that is, the school system breaks you down, strips you of your identity, and makes you a product of consumption for society. Basically, is what I got out of that. Again, I could be wrong, but that was what I took away from that. And this kid is just not on board with this at all. He wants to rebel. He wants to break down the system. He wants to overthrow it. This is all going on in his head. He doesn't actually do it. So he grows up. And he's already quite mentally ill by this point. But he goes into music. He becomes a rock star. He has adoring groupies basically at his feet and everything. He is so just disaffected, unaffected, whatever at this point that he just could care less. He has a wife at home that he also just doesn't give a shit about. So she starts cheating on him, and that's one of the things that eventually makes him snap later. But yeah, this groupie just is trying to break through the walls he has built up around him. That is a recurring theme, the whole thing. That I just had always assumed this movie was about the Berlin Wall. No, this is about the metaphorical walls this dude has put up around himself that keep getting bigger and stronger and isolating him more and more and more the older he gets. And the more he does this, the more he falls into his delusions and everything. And his psychosis and all of that. Yeah, it's a lot. But anyway, he eventually flips out. He basically Keith Moons the hotel room. He may or may not have killed the groupie. I don't know. I don't think we see a body, so maybe he didn't. Maybe she gets out of there, but it's almost implied. It's almost implied. Yeah, and it just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating until now it's not just the metaphorical and physical walls he's put around himself, where he also, on top of just emotionally not letting anyone in, because as a child he tried to make meaningful connections and it came back to bite him every time. Now he's just got walls around himself, will not let anyone in, also keeps himself holed up in his apartment or whatnot, won't let anyone in physically either. And eventually this escalates into now he's going to build walls of hate. Oh, joy. Like, he eventually snaps and becomes like a Hitler-esque figure. It's like, oh god, oh, this is rough to watch. Like, oh my god. But, it's not quite direct, but it's blatant enough to where you can get exactly what the references are. Like, it's... Watching this in 2023, it's jarring to watch. I mean, I think at any period it would have been jarring to watch, but especially now, it's like, oh god, I feel ill kind of watching this. Like, it feels wrong, and I think that's the point. That is exactly the point. It's supposed to unsettle and disturb you. And, like, especially, like, even in, like, his rally that he has, it looks suspiciously like another kind of rally. There's even, like, guys in the front row with pointy hoods. Except theirs are black, but the message has gotten across. So he's, like, building up even more walls. And the only people he's, like, connecting with at all are out of hatred. It's like, oh god. Oh, we see how evil dictators rise now, don't we? Oh, joy. Joy. He eventually is arrested for his crimes against humanity. And his punishment is that they break down the walls. And that's how it ends. It's just like, holy shit. Like, on one hand, the fuck did I just watch? But on the other hand, it's like, no, I actually followed it this time. I'm so proud of me. But, part of me wonders, again, this might be me, I can talk, this might be me reading too much into stuff. I have to wonder, how much of this was inspired by Syd Barrett? Because let us not forget, Syd Barrett also descended into madness. So some of it, I would almost be willing to put money on it, was inspired by Syd. But a lot of it was probably also just him making his own storyline here, too. But, oh, it is a dark, gritty movie. Yeah, but it's a powerful one once you actually get the meanings of what it is you're looking at and the why of it all. But, oh my god, it's a rough watch. It's a rough watch. It's a great album, but oh my god, the movie, though. Holy shit. Yeah, it's uncomfy. And again, that is exactly the point. I think there's also, like, a live version that has been, released as well, that I think I kind of want to watch too, just to compare and contrast, because that's what started this, was me falling down the rabbit hole of watching live performances of this, trying to understand what happened in the news recently with Roger, and I felt like I understood it more from that than I did from my previous watches of this, but now I feel like I got this too, and maybe I wouldn't have had I not watched the live one, so I don't know. But it's unsettling, but it's powerful. So it's just like, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, might be worth a watch. It might. I don't know that I would say I would recommend it to everybody, but like, as a classic rock fan, it's one of those kind of required viewing movies that everyone's more or less expected to see sooner or later. I tried to watch it sooner, I just didn't track it, but finally did. But man, it's just, the next day I'm still looking at it like, wow. Like, the imagery in that, just, there's so much symbolism that can be read and just so many different things. Like, I would have to have it up in front of me actively, like, to point them out. I should have been taking notes, but again, I was, like, really sleep deprived. But yeah, I got a lot out of it this time for a change, and I'm just like, okay, I see what he was going for now. And given some of the performance of Bob Geldof in this, I have to wonder if David Bowie was ever considered for the role, because parts of it feel very Bowie-esque to me. Like, am I the only one who feels that way? Because I feel like he also definitely could have played that role. But, yeah, just, now that I get it, I'm impressed with it. I'm disturbed by it, but I'm impressed by it. So, take that as you will. I don't know that I could give it, like, a star rating. I'm still kind of reeling and processing the whole thing of what I just watched and understood. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting one if you've never seen it. So, just saying. If you don't want the imagery, stick with the album, but if you want to, like, actually try to follow the storyline, because I've listened to the album for years and I didn't really get the story just from that. I feel like you need the visuals for it to click. So, anyway, I'm just rambling at this point, but I don't know. I want to talk about it, and literally nobody wants to talk about this movie with me, so I'm talking to you guys instead. So, anyway, let us have a discussion down in the comments, because I'd kind of like to talk to anybody who would like to talk about The Wall, but anyway. So, that's it. So, you guys know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, everything. You know the drill. They're all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.